The massive lion approached Juma, the ranger, who was tightly bound to the acacia tree on the Savannah. He had been tied up and left for dead by poachers, his entire body aching, his hope all but gone. The low green grass stretched to the horizon, dotted with scattered acacia trees, a beautiful yet terrifying backdrop for his final moments. The huge lion stopped just feet away, its massive paws sinking slightly into the soft earth. Its amber eyes, sharp and calculating, locked onto Juma. A slow, shuddering breath escaped Juma's lips as he recognized the faint, rope scar running along the top of the lion's shoulder. The complex wound he, a dedicated field veterinarian, had surgically repaired and stitched up months before. His fate now rested not with the ruthless poachers, but with the king of the jungle. The lion's intent remained a terrifying mystery. It let out a deep, rumbling purr, not aggressive, but a sound of immense power. Juma watched, his heart hammering against his ribs, as the lion began to circle him, its movements deliberate and slow. The air filled with the earthy scent of the wild, and the slight brush of the lion's mane against the rough bark of the acacia tree sent shivers down Juma's spine. This was the ultimate test. Would the primal instinct of a predator prevail, or would a memory of kindness transcend the boundaries of species? The lion paused, its heavy head dropping low. It nudged the tight ropes binding Juma's arms, not with force, but with a surprising gentleness. Juma could feel the rough, damp texture of its nose against the bindings. It was not trying to free him, it was investigating. Take a moment to imagine. What would run through your mind in that exact moment? Share your thoughts below. He tried to communicate silently, locking eyes with the magnificent beast, a silent plea for recognition. The sun beat down, intensifying his thirst and the sharp pain in his wrists. Suddenly, the lion's ears swiveled backward and its demeanor shifted. It raised its head and emitted a low, guttural warning. From the distance, the faint, unnerving cackles of Clan of Hyenas began to drift across the Savannah. They were drawn by the lingering scent of Juma's panic and exhaustion. Juma realized his predicament had just doubled. He was trapped between his unlikely protector and a group of opportunistic scavengers closing in for an easy meal. This unexpected development only intensified the terrible waiting. But the greatest threat in the Savannah rarely comes alone. As the sun began to climb higher, the distant cackles of a clan of hyenas drew closer, and the lion's demeanor shifted from curiosity to defense. The clan of hyenas emerged from the sparse foliage, their shadowy forms becoming distinct in the bright sunlight. There were 5 of them, their eyes glinting with a hungry, cunning light. They were clearly attracted by the scent of a vulnerable man. The lion, without a second's hesitation,
The audio depicts
positioned
the
itself
atmosphere of the
directly
African
in
Savannah,
front of the
featuring the
boundary.
sounds of the wind
It let out
blowing
a
through the grass
thunderous
and trees.
roar, a sound of pure territorial dominance that shook the acacia tree Juma was tied to. The sound was a raw, undeniable statement of ownership. Juma, momentarily forgetting his pain, was filled with astonished awe. The lion was now his fierce, albeit accidental, guardian. The clan of hyenas cautiously circled, their movements low and tentative, clearly recognizing the power of the huge lion. They lunged and snapped, testing the dominant predator, but the lion met every challenge with ferocious power. It was a chaotic, dusty flurry of teeth and muscle. Juma watched, paralyzed, as his former patient fought to protect the area around the acacia tree. Do you believe animals truly remember a good deed? Give this video a like if you find this lion's loyalty astonishing. After a tense, brutal skirmish that left the clan of hyenas scattered and retreating, the lion surveyed the Savannah, ensuring the immediate danger was gone. It let out a final, chest-rattling snarl. Then, incredibly, it slowly walked back. Instead of looking at Juma, the lion turned its back and settled down heavily a few feet away, its head resting on its paws. The weight of its body caused the ground to shift slightly, and a length of the binding rope that had been stretched taut against the bark rubbed loose near Juma's ankle. It was a subtle, involuntary action, the unexpected solution. The lion's protective gesture had created a tiny, fragile opportunity. With the immediate danger gone, Juma was left with a new, baffling reality. His unlikely protector was now his captor, and the knots that bound him were still tight, but a small movement, a slight loosening, offered a fragile window of opportunity. The sun began its slow descent, painting the savanna gold and red. The lion was in a deep rest, occasionally twitching a paw or letting out a soft exhalation. Juma knew this was his only chance. His hands were bound behind the tree, but the slight give in the rope near his ankle, caused by the lion's weight, was enough. His heart hammered a frantic rhythm. He remembered the small, sharp metal edge of a broken buckle from his backpack strap that had fallen and lodged right at the base of the tree. He painstakingly began to shuffle and twist his body, ignoring the excruciating pain. The process was agonizingly slow. Every inch Juma moved risked disturbing the resting lion. The sound of the rough rope fibers slowly wearing against the buckle was barely audible, yet in the absolute silence of the afternoon, it felt deafening. He had to trust that the lion's deep sleep, the necessity after the confrontation, would hold. After what felt like an eternity, the thick, heavy rope around his wrist began to fray, fiber by fiber. Finally, with a soft snap, the last strand securing his right hand gave way. He was free from the tree, but not from the thread. He gently pulled his arms forward, his circulation screaming back to life. He held his breath, slowly moving the now loose rope from his body. It was then, in the final moment of freedom, that the lion's head rose. Its amber eyes opened, focusing immediately on the man who was now sitting free, unbound, leaning against the acacia tree. The silence was absolute. Will the lion realize the ranger is free? Is this a moment of escape or a final, fatal mistake? Juma did not run. Driven by an instinct more powerful than fear, he slowly lifted his hand, still numb and trembling, and reached out. His fingers gently touched the scarred shoulder of the majestic lion. A gesture of silent thanks, a profound recognition. The heavy bonds fell away, but the greatest obstacle was not the rope, but the $400 pound magnificent lion that was now watching his every move. This was the moment of truth, the final test of a bond forged in pain and rescue. The lion did not growl, did not lunge. It simply looked at Juma for a long, meaningful moment. It was a look that seemed to acknowledge the shared history, the balance of debt and gratitude. Slowly, deliberately, the lion pushed itself to its feet, stretched its massive frame, and then, with a final, powerful, yet non-threatening roar directed at the open savanna, it turned. It walked away, dissolving into the low green grass and the distant shade of the next grouping of acacia trees, leaving Juma completely alone, but finally safe. Juma, exhausted but alive, quickly contacted his team. The poachers were later apprehended. Their camp discovered thanks to Juma's report. The incredible survival story became a quiet legend
Don't resist.
among
I
the
tell you, it was
rangers.
the biggest
This
tusker
encounter
I've ever
was a
seen, and he
powerful
just walked
testament
right
to the
by.
bonds we
Truly
share
unbelievable,
with the
my
wild.
friend.
The
A
story of the
for
scarred
grandchildren.
lion reminds us that kindness, extended even to the wildest of creatures, has a remarkable way of returning. Kindness is not a weakness. It is the ultimate, life-saving strength. If this story moved you and gave you a moment of hope, please subscribe to our channel and join our community in sharing these inspiring stories. Thank you for watching, and remember, kindness always finds its way home.